Yo, what's up guys, it's Suraj from Tech Devoted, and in this episode we are taking a look at a super inexpensive wide-angle lens for Sony APS-C. The lens in question is a 12mm 2.8 from 7 Artisans. As always, let's kick things off with build quality. The 12mm is built out of metal and honestly I have no complaints build quality wise. In fact, Chinese lenses in general, in my experience so far, always seem to get build quality right, and this one is no exception. The lens is an all-manual lens, so the aperture and focus have their own dedicated rings and they are bifurcated very well, which is not very often the case, especially with these cheaper lenses. With this lens you can tell which ring is which without actually having to look at it, which is a great thing, and it's also pretty good with accidental touches, so a slight touch or a sudden movement will not completely turn your ring around and mess up your focus or anything like that. 12mm is about an 18mm full frame equivalent, which is a great focal length for landscapes, astrophotography, long exposure, real estate, establishing shots, things like that. You can even shoot portraits with it if you're into the whole wide angle portrait look. Now, image quality wise, this lens is mediocre at best. The centers are pretty sharp, but then the corners tend to be really soft, and this is true until like f4, 4.5. After that it gets a little better, but then on the whole it's still mediocre at best. There's some chromatic aberration at 2.8, but again that is expected for the price. In the time I spent with this lens, I mostly shot video, and to be honest it was not that bad despite the lack of autofocus. I even shot on a gimbal with it at 2.8 and it was pretty usable. Sure, the subject would go out of focus now and then, but it was still pretty okay because 2.8 is still pretty usable with manual focus because the depth of field out of it is controllable, as opposed to something like a 1.4 where only literally your subject's nostrils are in focus. So I would use it on a gimbal. In fact, this particular shot of Aishwarya Suresh on stage with the flashlights and everything in the background has got to be one of my favorite shots that I've shot this whole year, and it was shot at 2.8 with a gimbal.
Alright, so this is the vlogging test with the 12mm. If I look a little sweaty, it's because I am. We just climbed 17 floors to get to this height. It's 18 floors. It's a pretty crazy view. I don't know if you can see. Hopefully I'm in focus. I'm at 2.8. Dinesh, my friend here, focused for me, so counting on his skills. But yeah, this is a pretty great view, and very vloggable type of lens. I think you can easily use this for vlogs. So yeah, back to the review.
So overall, this is an awesome lens. I don't know what else to say. At roughly $200 US or about 12,000 Indian rupees, it is a great purchase. There's also the Pancake Sony 16mm and the Rokinon 12mm that fall under the same price range, but unfortunately I do not have experience with any of those lenses, so I cannot tell you how this one would compare to that. But even by itself, the 7 Artisans is a great lens, especially if you're starting out, if you're on a budget. This is something I would absolutely look into. This lens actually belongs to my friend Akhil, so massive shout out to him for allowing me to borrow it for the review. This review would not have been possible without him, so check him out. I'm sure many of you already follow him, but if you don't, definitely check him out. He makes some great videos too. The 12mm I believe is also available in Fuji X-Mount and Canon EOS M-Mount, so if you happen to have a Fuji camera like an X-T20 or something like that, or a Canon M50, you can pick this lens up for your camera as well. I will leave links to everything in the description. If you are going to be purchasing the lens, consider using those links. They are my affiliate links. It gives me a kickback at no extra cost to use. So yeah, that's about it for this video. If you found this review helpful, or if you enjoyed watching it, give it a like. If you did not, vote it down. Let me know in the comments why I didn't like it. If you're new around here, consider subscribing for more reviews just like this one. It's been Suraj. Thanks so much for watching. Take it easy and stay devoted.